Simon & Schuster Audio presents The Secret Life of Houdini, The Making of America's First Superhero, by William Kalush and Larry Sloman. Read by Adam Grupper.
The first shovel load missed his torso and struck his neck, sending soil flying up his nostrils and into his mouth. He started choking and coughing. "Sorry, boss," Collins said, looking down into the hole. "I guess the wind took it." "Stay calm. Conserve energy. Keep the heart rate down." Collins and Vickery continued to fill the cavity with moist Santa Ana soil. They had been at this since a little past dawn, and their arms were beginning to ache with fatigue. They could only imagine how he must feel. Subconsciously, they moved into a rhythm, one scraping his shovel into the mounds of dirt piled high around them, the other sending his payload straight down into the dank hole. Vickery thought of how his friends would react when he told them of Harry's latest stunt. Of course, that would have to wait until after it was performed. He'd never forget that oath of secrecy that he'd sworn, and how seriously Harry seemed to take it. "Am I pushing myself too hard? I'm 41, but I look 50. I'm so gray." Vickery began to admit to himself his concern. He had expected his boss to have no problem with the 1 and even the 2-foot plantings, as he called them, and he didn't. But the 4 and 5-foot escapes seemed to really have taken something out of him. What if he'd hurt himself now, like the time he did in Buffalo? Ever since Harry had burst that blood vessel getting out of those chains, he'd had to sleep with a pillow under his left kidney. He was in such intense, chronic pain. Vickery never forgave himself for allowing those bastards to pull the chains so tight. "It's so much hotter down here. How can a few feet make such a difference? I'm starting to feel faint. Stay calm." By now, the dirt had almost completely covered Houdini's body. The shackles that held his ankles together were completely buried, and the content of 2 or 3 more shovelfuls would obscure the last traces of those handcuffs. He knew that his head would be covered next, so he could brace for the assault of the head.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?